back to Claws of Kausvena. We have a few little announcements just before we get started. The first is, unfortunately, our dear friend Mocha could not be here tonight. She's not feeling great. So I will be autopiloting her character to the best of my ability. Don't make me get into trouble because of how I play her. So there's that. We're going to go around and introduce everybody. I just want to remind everyone that the channel is going dark for a week, so we will not have this next Monday, but the Monday after that, on the 15th, we will be back. So we can run around with everyone, name, pronouns, characters. Where can we find you? I'll start with Lynn this time.
Oh, hey, I'm Lynn. Shive, Gremlin art pretty much everywhere you can find. And I am playing Lonnie Tana, they, them, Kalashtar, Twilight Cleric.
And from there, I'll pass it back to Kristen.
I had to unmute. Sorry. Hi, hello. I am Kristen. She, they. You can find me over at Twitter, Kristen_house. That's where I post most of the things that I'm up to, and also here on Twitch is just Kristen House. I am playing Zosha, the tiefling wizard who is very neurodivergent and a bookworm, but after the encounter last session, she's like a little angry and unhinged now, and so we're gonna see how that goes. That's it.
And I'll pass it to Anita.
Hey everybody, Anita's here. That's me. She, her pronouns. I will be playing Kami, Yuan Ti Druid. She, her pronouns. Find me at Anita the Lesbian on Twitter and TikTok. I make funny little memes, and I post them on the TikTok, and I tell people what I'm doing on the Twitter. Yeah, my character maybe has a crush after this encounter, so that's also pretty unhinged. And I'm gonna pass it to, last but not least, our Nenners. Nenners, take it away.
Plek is certainly least in mass, but yes, I agree. I am Nenners. I play a goblin. Somehow survived the last fight. I'm very excited about that. Named Plek. What was I gonna say? You can find me at the Fuzka Twitch channel, doing other D&D stuffs. He, him on both sides, myself and my character. I think that covers it pretty much. Back to you, Foods.
Yay! And yeah, I'm the DM. I have she, her pronouns. And as Nenners mentioned, you can find us on my channel, the Fuzka, which is mostly D&D, on Fridays and Saturdays. So one last thing, just for the channel, just a reminder, tomorrow is Harsh Realms, a Kids on Bike horror game. So that's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give them a watch, check them out. They're really cool. And with that, I believe we're all set. I think all my announcements are done finally. And I also just want to remind the players in the audience at the moment, Kristen has inspiration for tonight. So if ever there is a time where she would like to use it, and she gets 7 p.m. Excuse me, I wrote it down wrong. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is for the Kids on Bike Horrors game, Harsh Realms. Oops. Thank you, Anne. You are wonderful for correcting me. All right, so with that, we will get started with our recap, which is a bit thankfully short in this regard, as the team challenged the BBEG, Kausvena, in a fight. And we basically had that entire combat last session. So the group actually got to see kind of what she's capable of. She seemed to kind of be morphing as she was going on, and the thrill of the fight seemed to kind of empower her in ways. And after she drew blood on someone, she seemed to be able to hit them with more accuracy. So things were happening as the fight was going on. There were some confusion moments where Chrysanthemum was charmed in a way and whapped the poor crap out of Zosha because she was paralyzed. as a spell was reflected back to her, and she was paralyzed for a little bit. But we're coming back with the group having survived as Kausvena ran away towards the end. She was very intent on fighting you when you were at full strength, and since she didn't seem to get that, she didn't seem intent on sticking around. But as she left running off into the woods, you guys kind of started coming together, licking your wounds and chatting a little bit, catching your breath, and we find our party here. It's still very late morning, very close to noon at this moment. The fungus is still sort of around you. The grass here is a weird sort of yellowy, but the golden light from the sun kind of makes it even more yellowy, interestingly enough. So we're gonna pick up with the team here. What would you guys like to do?
I don't know about the rest of you, but I could use like a solid 8 unconscious hours. I know it's still light out. Well, maybe that won't work if I fall asleep. Never mind. I was gonna say I could cast darkness, but then I'd just fall asleep, so never mind. She'll starfish out on the ground again over everything.
Maybe not 8 hours, but a nap, perhaps.
Yes.
I don't think it's a good idea to be unconscious in daylight, where people can see us.
Is it better to be unconscious at nighttime where we can't see people?
Oh, I can always see people. We can always see people at night.
Oh, well, I mean, I can see in the dark, so I don't know why that came out of my mouth. I'm exhausted.
Was it Zosha who got that ridiculous religion check early on about Malar? Someone got like a 20-something.
Not Zosha.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I apologize. That would be Kami. I will just mention, just because of that religion check that you got, you also do know that Malar is very much aligned with the moon. And followers tend to either act at night a little bit more or perhaps be more empowered at night.
Okay, maybe it is a good idea to try and sleep. Then, like, we were knocked unconscious and, like, transported to this part of the forest? Like, was that a long rest that we just, like, had, or, like, at the beginning? Like, would we be able to take another long rest this early, is what I'm asking.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, word. Then, Kami would say maybe it is a good idea, Zosha, to, like, move at night and rest during the day.
See, Kami, this is why you're my favorite. Always. You're so smart.
Day or night doesn't necessarily affect how we do things, but if we want to rest, we can make sure that we're not disturbed.
What about you, Plek? How are you feeling?
I understand your need for rest. I'm just cautious. I'll take the first watch, but if you need to recuperate your strength, especially those of you who are forced unconscious, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, like, how can I explain? Have you ever heard of the spoon theory? So I have certain different sizes of spoons, and only so many a day until I sleep, and then I'm given back the spoons. I'm tired. You know,
are you short on cutlery? Is that I'm not sure
no,
where you're going with this.
It's a metaphor, but I'm not cognizant enough to relay the information to you. The glass is half empty right now.
Oh, I understand that one. Got it.
Kami's going to summon Simon from the staff and send Simon over to Zosha. Because often when we're out camping, like we use Simon as a sort of like pillow / like heat source. And I say, I understand, friend. Rest. And we will try again in the nighttime, it seems.
Yeah, Zosha will snuggle all up with Simon and is out like that, like pretty quickly. It doesn't take much.
Oh,
I think while that's going on, I think you see Lanitana like kind of like disturb the dirt and just kind of with their staff kind of etch a circle, and they'll cast Tiny Hut. So there'll be like a little sphere of I guess they'll make it easier for people to sleep, so it'll be dark on the inside.
I have a little film I use. Sorry.
Yeah, so I guess it's dark on the inside, so Pluck is probably going to keep watch outside of the hut.
Yeah, he's gonna take first watch outside of the hut. Yep.
I think Kami's gonna go into the hut and walk up to Lanitana and say, we need to talk. You have a moment before we rest.
Of course. Here or outside the...
She'll take a seat. It seems like pretty secluded in here. I'll say that like Simon is like on the edge of the tiny hut, so that like Zosha can still lean up against Simon and like still be inside of the hut, and Simon's not like
I think Simon
breaking
can't
the hut.
fit in, actually. If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
I think in Tiny Hut, they can only be a large, or they can't be a large-sized creature, if I remember correctly.
Can it? Let me see. I don't
remember.
No,
we haven't...
Yeah.
Includes a larger creature or large. It says larger creature, but I think Simon can probably fit in there.
Okay, well, just have Simon coiled up on the inside.
I mean, if Simon's like the ground-ish thing, I think that could.
I feel like Simon is used to sleeping with Zosha, so I feel like Simon is just coiled around the tiny hut, because like Simon's really big. Like it would probably be very cramped if Simon was
and then just like the little tail is in, and Zosha's like using the tail as a pillow.
It's gonna be a real bad surprise if anyone tries to like mess with this sphere, because they can't see inside. Well, they don't know there is a giant snake on the inside of this thing with people.
Yeah, it does say 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. So, I'll say that he can stick his tail or his head in, but the rest of it will have to be outside of it. But yeah, propping you up as a pillow is absolutely fine. Which is also
I feel like Zosha's in the corner snoring. And Kami's going to just like take a seat in the middle of this hut. And I think she's gonna start by saying, this is really incredible. This place that has like central heating. You're very, very talented.
Oh, thank you. It's incredibly useful for hostile areas. It's hard to get sleep, and if you're traveling with people who do not have a hard time getting sleep, it makes it more difficult. But it's good to have.
Your goddess, I think you said, sent a meteor to smush me, and kidnapped me and transported me to the middle of a forest where a very strong, very interesting woman with claws had a vendetta against me. What do you know of your goddess?
What summoned you, your friends, us, wasn't necessarily our goddess, but one that has aligned similar qualities. But what you experienced may have been a vision, and in dire trouble, sometimes divine entities summon champions or those that they wish assistance from. And I think this may be one such case.
So this, whatever entity brought us here, they're not even your god? And yet you're willing to
No.
fight to death for them? Help me understand.
If that divine entity may not be mine, but they represent the same thing that that ours does. Light, growth, life, that. And doing good for them ultimately pushes along what we all want.
What is this goddess's name? The goddess's name.
Oh, sorry, repeat that.
Kami is asking. Yeah, Kami wants to know what the goddess's name is.
Oh, the one that summoned us?
Yes, maybe I have heard of her.
Do not know.
So
Lightana will give the description of what they saw. Because I have no recollection of this particular being. Do you?
Does Kami know anything about this deity?
You could give me a religion check. The DC is very high, but it is possible, specifically because of your background.
Okay. Here we go. First roll of the night. We got it.
Set the tone. You got
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell.
So you saw a glowing god on a battlefield that said that she served the light, and you believed her just 'cause?
Yes. Well, just 'cause takes some of the finesse out of it, but can feel certain things, even if they tell you can certain forces you cannot hide. And one of those was like that.
It is strange that Malar's forces are here, but her believers are not. I don't know much about the gods. I typically try to avoid them. And fighting in a holy war is not really what I had planned for my life in general.
No. Most of the time we don't plan for such things, but sometimes they just happen. If you do not wish, we'll find some other way to get you back home if you don't wish it. We tend to take things on faith more so than others are comfortable with, so we understand.
You, Lonitana, are a part of my tribe now. And that means something. I will not abandon you. But I want you to be very sure about this decision you're making. Because you are not alone anymore either. At the beginning of the fight, you said that we could go. And that isn't true. You are one of us. Your problems are our problems. And I want you to be sure about the fight that you choose. Because you are taking care of you and whoever you are with inside of you, and all of us outside of you as well.
Understood. Consider it a great honor that you've taken me in such esteem. So I'll do whatever I can to keep everyone here safe.
All right.
After all, that's one of our charges, is to make sure travelers are safe. Not just fighting evil things, just making sure that those we protect end up where they're supposed to go safely.
You think Malar is evil?
Yes.
Very well.
I mean, we mean that the forest suffers in a way that forests do not normally. This is not a natural part of things. This isn't a forest fire. This is a natural rot. Balances have been upset. And we think that might be extend out to whatever realm we were summoned, that entity summoned us from, that god.
Yeah, Kami's gonna like sit with that for a good like 15 seconds. Like you can look at her and tell that she's like thinking of something.
Mhm.
Before before she gets up and says, thank you, Lanitana. I think I'm going to go find Black. And maybe learn how to use this thing. Like motioning to her shield. I fear I will need it. And she will turn and sort of like climb over Simon, trying to get out. Sorry.
No. Well, Kami, thank you for this moment.
As you are having this conversation, Plek is making his rounds, making sure the group is well guarded as you rest. And Plek, at the moment, there's nothing that's really catching your attention. Everything seems to be on the up and up. And granted, all of you can see in the dark, some better than others, but with the sun light up, you feel pretty confident that you're safe. And maybe that's Kausvena's wish, or maybe you're just lucky right now, but otherwise, you're safe.
Dear. I, like a fool, forgot to get rope again, so I can't make any cool traps. But if he sees Kami come out, he'll slow down.
Black, are you around?
Yeah, he'll
Green.
turn to. he'll try to like make himself as like, yeah, high vis as possible.
Black, hello. How is our position?
Quiet so far. Hopefully
Wonderful.
it stays that way.
You offered training before. I think I would like to take you up on it.
Okay.
How does one actually like try to block when people don't usually attack me with weapons? This is all very new.
Ideally, it's all about the set position you have. You don't want to. You want to be in a position where you're hard to hit in general, and only really make adjustments as needed. You also, and he'll like show you a shield, like you want to angle it facing forward, so if there's any kind of splash or if you angle it in and an arrow could ricochet into your head, or if someone throws acid at you, it could bounce off of it. It's just horrible. So you want to make sure it's angled forward, so if anything hits, it'll rebound downwards and away rather than up and in. But yeah, generally speaking, he'll try to like. This is where it's gonna get a little funny due to just simply size difference. Or he's like, he's a strong. I think he's like 4'1", which is tall for a goblin, but that's on the upper echelon of goblins. But that's not high for anybody else. So anyway, he's just trying to kind of like maneuver you around, maybe adjust your footing position so that if you are gonna take an impact, it's not like. If anyone's ever had like actual athletic training or whatever, you never want to have your feet close together, right? It's a poor base, so he'll teach you that and stuff like that, and basically the kind of the basics of at least bracing for an attack and just have a good general position, having so that if you do take a blow, your shoulder and elbow will take the make it like an elastic collision, if you will, so you're not like stiff and gonna hurt yourself. But he'll go through the motions of at least showing you that, and maybe even give you a few like tests with the butt of his spear, just to kind of get you to feel how it's supposed to feel in the different angles.
Yeah, like her stance is awful. It's really like the -3 to dexterity, the -1 to strength. It's not looking good. But you like but you definitely like show her like tricks and tips, and she at least has like some semblance of like training now to like deflect blows or like jack claws. And it honestly like it'll probably take like an hour of like
Training.
training to like yeah, now you're
Um,
she's
Sorry.
probably like sweating very hard at the end of it. It was really simple stuff.
And remember, whatever you might not have naturally can almost always be made up with technique. You don't have to be the strongest or the fastest, but if you have great technique, that'll carry the day, especially against undisciplined fighters, I guess.
You are very well trained, Black. Thank you. I think I can feel a difference. Where did you learn?
I learned with my old troop. We we used to go around and adventure a little bit. They were called the Cult of Stone, and we were big on adventuring and fitness, and that's kind of what we trained. We train every morning, we train every night, and we try to go on adventures in between.
Cults. More zealots.
It was our leader Grok. She wasn't too bright, bless her heart, but she was a strong believer in Hextor and his tenets, which she eschewed upon us. And I think she thought cult meant something different than what it was, but I assure you, we weren't like sacrificing chickens or anything like that. It was just we had a combined goal for self-improvement and seeing the world.
I do not look down on those that sacrifice chickens. But understood. This is very strange, Black. This whole debacle that we're in. But I am very glad that you're with me.
And I'm very glad I met you and our friends here. Safety numbers for sure, but I'm a little confused. Usual combat doctrine is vanquish your foes when they are weak. Malar seems to turn that on its head. So, I know next to nothing of gods, other than Hextor and some of the, well, more goblin-y ones that I've suppressed. It is very strange.
Kausvena seems to be of a sect of Malar that prizes fair combat, worthy foes, the hunt. It seems as though we are supposed to become worthy through our trials here. I am not sure what that means.
I guess to be stronger at our, or perhaps eliminate weaknesses that we have in our own selves. I just don't, why would a god bring us, like, why would they drag us into their fight? Can't they just go fight in the stars or wherever they are?
This is what the gods do. at least through my training, they will meddle in mortal affairs. This person is now king because the gods declare it. You must honor this god, or a plague shall sweep across the land. Don't eat shellfish. They are very strange creatures. As far as I understand, the gods are like, if the gods were people, we would be something smaller, maybe like a capybara or a monkey. They live for a very long time, and they care very much about what we do. I don't understand it, but it is a part of our reality now. We are in the middle of a god war. We must prepare in whatever ways we can.
Agreed. We are where we are. And seems like really have one way out. I understand that. They seem capricious. I guess. Like why? I know attempting to understand their wills is a fool's errand, but yeah, we'll stick together. We'll get stronger together. I'm gonna train at the first light. If you want to join me, we can work on that. Maybe get some. It'll kind of tap to your the thigh with the staff, maybe strengthen the base a little bit. We could do some squats, maybe some horse stance. Get started.
Squats. Like, she has had some relationship with squats, and it has been negative. But says, you have indulged me in my morning routine. I shall indulge you with squats when we wake at twilight. Good night, Platt.
He's gonna do an insight if he can, just to see if he's making her uncomfortable. He's not trying to force her, but it's hey, if you want to do squats with me, I'm down. But I'm not gonna I'm not a drill sergeant. I'm come on, let's go. Just bang out push-ups stuff.
No, go for it. And Kami, I'll let you make up the DC for how easy she is to read or not. That's a good roll though.
Yeah, I'll say it's my charisma modifier plus 10, so 14.
All right. He rolled an 18.
Yeah, you know that, you're looking at Kami and seeing, oof, squats, exercise, and also you're seeing a desire to, y'all have, a desire to make this, thing that we have right now a tribe. Because right now we're strangers, and she wants to do the things that you do to get ready in the morning because you have done the things that she does to get ready in the morning. So she wants to do squats with you in the morning.
Okay, got it. All right, well, sure thing. I'll wake you up, assuming it's not your turn for watch, and we'll go at it. First thing, safety first. If you feel terrible or something pop or something, please stop. That's obviously, training while injured really only promotes more injury. So, and we don't want you soar, obviously, when you're walking through the forests, possibly for miles. Do we know where we're going, by the way? Did Lonnie have any idea of... It was kind of like vaguely go this way?
If I know anything about Malar, we will go. And the underlings that Kausvena mentioned before will find us.
So it's like a... None of this makes sense. It's like an event. But they're gonna let us know, right? Like that was the idea. They're not gonna just ambush us. It's gonna be a...
Perhaps Kausvena seems to regard us as worthy foes, or at least have the potential to be worthy foes. Our underlings might see us as prey, and sometimes predators are ambush predators. We will have to wait and see.
We're gonna need to focus on food, I'd imagine, soon. I have some rations, but I know you obviously gave some of yours. I don't need a lot.
Oh, I believe that Chrysanthemum had some soup going earlier on. If I remember correctly, Chrysanthemum was like getting soup ready.
You are correct.
So can we just say that Chrysanthemum was like getting soup ready while
she's serving up dinner for everybody? And by dinner I mean like lunch, but it's going to be your dinner because you're taking a long rest soon. So yeah, we can say you guys ate then.
I guess I mean that the only food that we have is what we brought in, and given what we've seen so far, and those emaciated other goblins, and that clearly hungry spider, food seems to be in short supply.
well, if you are worried, and yeah, I think Kami's going to use her last first level spell slot to cast Good Berry and like get some more good berries for the group and hand like 2 or 3 off to Plaque. Give another like berry to Chrysanthemum. And just say these will sustain. They will give us enough nutrients. They're not very filling, I fear, but we won't starve as long as I can make these.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. Thank you. All right.
Anything I can help. I fear that I have been less than helpful in our combat so far.
You helped us avoid one earlier. I'll be honest with you, I was about this close.
I suppose so.
Little bastard.
I suppose so. Though I have a sneaking suspicion that they will be back.
I do too, but we would be... Imagine have we gotten into that fight, and then I don't think Lonnie was going to pull her punches with Kausvena anyway, so this one was already written, so to speak. Your patience and wisdom at that point, I think, saved more of us than you realize.
Kami will smile and say, I am exhausted. I shall see you at twilight, Black. Sort of turn. Give like a hat to Simon, but will eventually walk inside the tiny hut and take out a bedroll and go to sleep.
Wonderful. So as I was explaining to Kristen, the long rests are 8 hours, but I don't take out watch time for that. So as people rotate through, so long as the group rests for 8 hours, you will get to and also all hit points and spell slots. Set up full. But for Flex first watch, with your perception that you gave me in whispers, everything seems fine. And you're welcome to wake up the next person for watch.
Sneak in. Who wants to go on watch next?
Sosha's like,
Kami is right next to her, like on the other side of Simon's tail, like, and they're sort of harmonizing their snores. It's very strange. And it's also like pretty loud inside the hut. It's a little difficult for people to like sleep.
Yes. It's first watch done. I can take the next one. We can take the next one.
Okay. I'm pretty light sleeper, so if you need anything, just poke me or something.
Good rest. Thank you for your help tonight.
And yours as well. I have more questions, but we'll deal with that later.
If you want to sit for a little while out for the watch, we're more than happy.
Dawn comes early. Training cannot be missed. Unless I'm helping Kami. It should be fine. Hey, would you like to work out in the morning? We're doing some squats. We're gonna work on some leg functions, some stances, maybe a little core to tie it all in. Prop himself between like the tree and the ground, obviously, and always keep at least one hand on his spear. I'll have to doff his armor, which is gonna take a bit, and then yeah, just still has the shield and spear if need be, but he'll be armor free for the sleep.
All right. And with that, Lanitana, you are on watch. You can go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right. $21.
Do you have advantage on perception?
Mm-hmm. Shield.
Okay, fantastic. Oh yeah, thank you. Exactly why. Thank you for keeping track of that. Yeah, you take your watch. Thankfully, your shield keeps you on target most of the time. But much like Plek, you're relieved that things are really quiet. But unlike Plek, I think you're able to recognize that it feels unnaturally quiet. Like, you're in the middle of a forest, in the middle of the day. You should hear critters, bugs, something. It's just quiet. The only sound you have is the rustling of the leaves. But thankfully, your watch comes to an end peacefully.
Makes sense considering the state of the forest. That, yeah, there's no noise.
But you're welcome to wake up the next watcher.
Zosha will take the next watch. Oh, do I have to? Okay.
Had a good rest, or at least,
yeah.
well, enough that you would wish to return to it. But that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Okay. And she'll just like crawl out and like lean on the part of Simon that's outside the hut and just be like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. Feeling a little bit better.
It was calm, so hopefully that will keep things going if you want.
I hope so.
would you like to, before we sleep, would you take part in a little thing, maybe two little exercise to
Strengthen my mind?
yes, your reactions and
Yeah, that sounds great.
be able to react first when if things happen. Hopefully that won't happen.
Hopefully not, but that sounds like a great. Yeah, what do I need to do?
Just sit here for a moment. We'll meditate and sit there for a minute, and they will ask, what keeps you going day after day in hardship?
What? Learning more about everything at Kami's side. It matters little if Kami is not around, so yeah.
Truth and companionship is admirable reason.
Thanks.
And we hope it gives you strength.
Thank you.
I hope the watch is uneventful and calm.
Me too. Yeah.
So I give, Lighthunter gave Sosha the vigilant blessing. So next time we're getting something, be ready.
Nice. Fantastic. I won't get an initiative of 2. Maybe.
You're in single digits.
Oh, rough, real rough. I presume you want perception.
I sure do.
Oh,
Simon's gonna spin their head around and help you look. Oh, just keep their tongue sniffer on the wind and just look around.
Yeah, awesome.
So will I get advantage?
Yeah, you will either get advantage or you can roll 1 and Simon can roll 1. It's up to you guys.
What do you want to do?
Simon's helping you.
Okay.
So you can.
Great. Well,
we
why did that happen?
Don't worry. A 19 is nice, though.
Yeah, it sure is. Thank you, Simon.
Go, Simon. Much like Lanitana, it is so strangely quiet. And normally you wouldn't really be able to pick up on it because you were not necessarily someone to hang out around the woods or any kind of verdant area. But Kami's your best friend, so you know that it's unusual. And it's unusual enough for you to kind of pick up any other sounds because thankfully it's pretty quiet, and that hut keeps any snoring away from anyone who's outside. But being outside, there's a moment, probably an hour or so into your watch, where you're fairly certain you saw the smaller stature of another goblin running off. Not in your direction, doesn't even seem to really notice you, but it does kind of just walk off in a bit of a hurry.
Okay. Would you say that happens towards the end of the watch for Zosha? Yeah. Okay. Where are we at in terms of 8 hours? Do we still need some more watches, right? So
yeah, I'm gonna say, just so I don't have to roleplay her, Chrysanthemum will take a watch, so I'm just saying the 4 of you will have 2-hour watches each. So you're probably like an hour and a half away from finishing performance. Or
okay.
2.5 hours, excuse me.
Yeah, so Zosha will note that, but doesn't want to disturb anyone with the information since it looked like they were going not towards us. And we'll just hang out until the end of her watch and then go carefully wake up Kami very, very gently, like, psst, 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 your turn. You're muted.
Whoops.
Now you disappeared.
There we go.
You're back.
Here we go.
She's back.
I was deep sleep. Good, I guess evening, Zilstra. Oh, wow. This hut in the darkness is very confusing.
It is. I do want to let you know that I did see a little goblin in a hurry, but it looked like away from us. But just keep an eye out. You know?
No one else, just a goblin.
Just one from what I saw, yeah.
Very well. She'll like start to get up and move out of the hut. You can tell that like there's something on her mind that she's like, should I say this? Should I not say this? Like for a while. You can tell that there's something on your friend's mind. Like as she's gathering her stuff and getting ready to go.
Kami, I've known you for a while. And you're not often plagued so significantly with things in your mind like you seem to be right now. And I don't want to pressure anything, so if you don't want to say what you're thinking or you're not ready, that's okay. But I'm here and I see you.
She'll like be taken aback and sort of like smile. And like usually she smiles like closed mouth. But it is just you and her that is awake. So she smiles with all of her teeth. And it's a terrifying smile. Like they're like needle sharp, they're like curved inwards, like towards the mouth. It's a lot. But she sort of says, Sosha, do you think Kausvena is humanoid? Like us?
Does it matter?
I don't know.
I don't know what Kausvena is other than destruction personified.
I think Kausvena is sick. And it makes me sad.
I think you're giving her a benefit of the doubt she has not earned. Especially after watching her strike you and Lanitana down, corrupt one of our newest friends to hurt me. I am struggling to see any reason to extend empathy her way.
I understand.
But you've always been a better
Never.
person than me.
This is not true. I think I have just never seen someone that is so like me before.
Like you?
At least in appearance. at least in connection to magic and nature. I think there's a part of me that wants her to be like me on the inside as well.
I don't think that's wrong, but the similarities between you two start and stop with the magic bits. She is a perversion of all of the light and goodness that you are. And I worry that perhaps empathy you should guide towards yourself, you're instead giving to her. After she wants to kill you first, then and in the future.
Don't worry. This time I will have a plan. And I promise you, I won't die in this forest.
Don't
Not
worry. This time, my spells won't be used against me. And I will be there to make sure you're safe, too. Because I didn't sleep great, even though I acted like it. The minute my eyes closed, I was plagued with horrible replays of all of the ways in which I failed you against her earlier. And I won't let that happen again. I want you to stay true to your kind heart, but in doing so, don't worry. I'm just gonna stay true to protecting you, even if that means being unkind. To protect your kindness.
I think Kami's gonna hear all of that. And then just sort of waddle forward in her weird walk that she has, and just take you in a very big, very long, very tight hug.
Zosha won't be making any noise, but you would feel wetness coming from her eyes. Definitely quietly crying, most certainly not wanting to disturb anyone else with it as well.
You are so precious to me.
Yeah, same. Please go take watch before goblins surround us or something.
Yes.
I've said a lot, so.
Yeah, she'll I think she's gonna take your hands, kiss you once on each cheek, and say, rest well, Zosha. Before going out and trying to take a little watch. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, Zosha will go to sleep, and if you didn't already know that her skin was pale, you would assume that she was a red tiefling based on the blush that ends up all over her from that, and then she'll just snuggle up and sleep again.
Oh my god.
All right, when you're ready, go ahead and roll me a perception check. As your team rests its last 2 hours.
Beautiful. Oh gosh. Yeah, and honestly, I think that like once Kami gets out there, she's gonna try to like sit and like be present and be watching. But I think she's gonna be thinking about Kausvena like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's gonna say, Simon, keep a lookout for me. And she's gonna go to Chrysanthemum's bag and take out a jar with a mushroom in it.
Okay.
And maybe have a little conversation. Or like talk at least to the mushroom. She knows that Kausvena may be listening on the other side. So yeah, she's gonna let's roll a perception check for Simon.
Okay. Sounds good. Does he get any advantages for like smell or like any specific senses?
Let me see.
I feel like a snake should have something, right?
It doesn't look like it. Nah, blind sight,
yeah.
passive perception, 12 feet. Does have a skill in perception though, so gets a +2.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
I'm trying to click the. Oh.
She whispered it to me, but the first, it was a natural 1.
Ooh.
I'm giving my inspiration to Kami right now.
Okay.
It's gone. You have it.
You can roll it, or you can have whoever you're giving it to roll it as well. It's up to you, Tristan.
No, it's I want it out of my hands, quite frankly. So just take it. It's yours.
We're gonna roll. So Simon gets a +2 plus that 1. That's 3 total. Let's add a d20 to that.
Add a d20.
Ah! Oh
Let's go.
goodness.
Oh, good. Yay. Oh, wow. Nice.
So 22 total. I have this image of just like Zosha like sleeping like very heavily, like very troubled, but like hugging on Simon's tail, and like Simon feeling that like and at the back and like being able to keep focus.
Simon got their shit together.
Exactly. No, I love that. I think exactly that gets him to focus. So as you are on watch, you're used to relying on Simon for his senses, as vision has never been Kami's strong suit. But he offers other senses as well. And as thankfully your rest is kind of coming towards its end, he does pick up movement that's quite a distance away. And he doesn't seem concerned about it. He even communicates to you that there's something, but it's nowhere near you and doesn't seem to be a problem. But probably in the last half hour or so of the rest, he seems very confused. And if you inquire about it, he seems to communicate that he's hearing water now. He didn't hear water before.
All right. Interesting. Cool. fun and funky fresh. Um, um, beautiful. And so we're about 30 minutes away from end of watch. I'm everybody up. Cool. I think that Kami is going to yeah, I think like during the watch, like while Simon has been watching, Kami's just been like talking to the mushroom Kausvena, and being like, your magic was absolutely remarkable. I've never seen anything like that before. That was very interesting. You're a cultist. You like are a champion of Malar. That's neat. Say more about that if you'd like. I have never seen anyone like me before, and I would like to know more about you. You've piqued my interest. If you can hear this, if you're listening, I think you are. But gosh, I was not prepared for any of this questing or holy war, but I think I will surprise you the next time we meet. I don't think mushrooms or darkness are evil. I think it's different life, but still life. And I left home so I could learn more about nature magic. Maybe you could teach me a thing or two. And we'll just continue rambling, talking about anything to this mushroom. Maybe hoping for a response. Probably not getting one. But until that point, 30 minutes before watch ends, running water, will sort of like get up and herself make a perception check this time. Sort of like
make me a perception
sniff
check
the air.
as well as a persuasion check.
Ooh. Persuasion check, okay. Sheet. Oh, this is my spell sheet. 4. Sorry.
It's all
Roll
right.
20.
You
And
get used
I.
to it. Don't worry. Do not worry.
Here we go. All right. Persuasion first.
Oh. Oof.
Oh.
3 to 5
Yeah.
with advantage. It's rough. And then go ahead and roll your perception.
So that should be normal though. So there we go. And a perception. Yeah.
Ending on some real great notes.
It's
good.
Honestly, like the bite marks have probably left me a little
dazed. Yeah.
You know, never got bit like that before. I'm a little out of it in many ways. So yeah, that was my persuasion check for the last hour and a half. Beautiful. And
but to kind of
and my perception is me putting my ear to the ground, sort of sniffing the air, like see water anywhere, like trying to just listen to the land.
And unfortunately, it probably was the bites, or maybe you being at the end of the long rest and not fully rested quite yet, but Kami's not quite on her A game just at the moment. But you unfortunately do not get a response through the mushroom in the container. But you could have sworn it started to glow just a little bit at one point, but you didn't hear anything. And it didn't ever seem to make any kind of reaction again after that. But towards the end, especially after Simon alerts you to the sound of running water, you can kind of confirm, you're pretty sure you hear it as well, but he seems to know exactly what direction it's in. Whereas with you, you're like, I think I hear it too, but that's more or less all the information you get.
I will count on you to lead the way, Simon. I think she will attempt to quietly return the jar of mushroom to
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum's back.
I kind of love this idea. Why don't you give me a sleight of hand? Because before she was asleep, so I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt of like you could probably grab that while her things are beside her. But for when she gets back, she's welcome to react however she'd like. But I want to see if you're able to return it as people are kind of waking up. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the clank of many jars.
Yep. I think she would definitely notice. I will leave that up to the player, but I very much imagine she's going to be like, well, what were you doing to my things? But I will sort of leave it surface level there at the moment. But at the end of Kami's watch, everybody has thankfully had your long rest. So make sure you bring back all of your cooldowns, your spell slots, your hit points. Everything is back to full after your successful 8 hours of rest. And at this point, it is starting to get dark.
The best words a wizard can hear, by the way, is your long rest was completed.
Yeah, exactly. I got all my things back. Thank you. Yeah.
Word. I think as like the long rest comes to an end, Kami is going to cast Druidcraft for a weather report for the night. See like what the weather's gonna be like.
Sounds good. Let's go. Can you post it for me if you don't mind?
Ooh, yes. Druidcraft.
Good, got it. I thought so. I was like, I wanted to make sure I knew the duration. So 24 hours. It'll let you know what the kind of weather is in this area. The response you get from nature itself as you're reaching out for just a quick answer as you guys are all waking up. It seems as though it's going to be very windy, and there is a chance for rain, although that's likely going to be right around dawn, most likely. The night should be clear, windy, but clear, and then a little bit of rain probably in the morning, and most likely some clouds in the afternoon.
Beautiful. Goes to wake everybody up, tell everybody the weather forecast for the day, and also, yeah, I think we'll start with reporting the goblin that was seen, like the watch before hers, and also the sound of running water off in the distance that Simon heard that wasn't there before. But it doesn't seem to be getting closer, so it seems like we can do morning routines, squats, a meditation. If people are like into that, that's like if people are okay with like letting the running water do the running water thing, we can do morning routine before we get started.
Yeah, Plek is immediately gonna get up, like keep his armor off for now, and just start like stretching, like start doing some light warm ups, like getting himself ready. There's definitely like a disciplined routine to how he does things. But yeah, and kind of keep his spirit at his feet while he does all of this kind of stuff. But it is just essentially getting ready for his morning workout, essentially.
You're actually.
Kami will try to imitate.
Oh, nope, you're good. I was just gonna say that Kami would notice that, like, for the first time ever, Zosha would kind of isolate herself and not partake in this morning ritual, and instead, like, be going through, like, her spell book and reading things and getting lost in her own head.
Yeah, I think Liontown probably got up extremely early from that rest and did her or their daily or when like the sunrise, like the transition time between the two states, the little rituals that they have to do with lighting and extinguishing candles.
You kind of pop into immediate routines, or at least something to focus on. But Kami seems to be the only one without a very specific agenda in the morning. What would you like to do, Kami?
Oh, like Kami is going to, like, after the workout and the squats, going to like do the morning meditation. But like for right now, like, first thing, like, we were going to commit to learning our tribe's exercise rituals, so we're gonna do it.
I love this idea of, I'm just gonna put a blue filter over the map for us.
I saw that picture. I saw that the little square. Like, what is that?
What is that?
It was like started at the bottom right. I'm like,
what am I doing? No, I'm not killing you. Everything's fine. I try and put blue filters on maps so I remember that it's night. Because otherwise, if it's a sunny map, I might be like, yeah, the sunlight is here. It's not. It's like 8 p.m. So there's not a lot of sun left right now. It's pretty dark. So that's more for me than it is for anything else. So don't worry about that. But I loved the camaraderie and the idea of Plek trying to teach Kami how to use a shield a little bit better. So I want to have a group skill check between the two of you. And if you get high enough, I'm going to give you a little reward. So for the teacher, I'll say that you can go with either intelligence or a wisdom check of your choice. And for Kami, she can go with a dexterity or strength check of her choice. Okay.
All right, we're going to go with strength. That's -1 instead of a -3.
Good.
We're
going for it.
come on, please.
Oh.
As the tension hangs in the air. Oh no!
Oh no!
What is wrong? What is roll 20? What's happening? Roll 20.
No shit! It's a -1.
Roll 20. What's happening?
Oh my god!
No.
That's adorable.
So
That feels like a warning shot in some way. That seems like it's
I know,
roll 20 is
right?
not.
Plek was doing a pretty good job teaching. It's very foreign for poor Kami. Like, there's certainly effort on her end. It's just this is unnatural. It's not what she's done for pretty much any part of her life. The shield was always one of those, like, it's better to have it and not use it than need it and not have it kind of thing. And now that she needs it, she's like, don't know what to do with it. So it's unfortunately it's a rough training session. I won't say you're like sore or anything like that, but you'll probably need another training session or two.
I will say Kami is sore. But yeah, like I feel like 5 minutes into the stretching, Kami's like, whew, that was a good workout.
We just got started.
That was great.
You done? Okay. Go at your own pace. That's important.
Oh,
This is
it's not done.
no. It's
Okay.
it's fine.
Oh no.
We'll build up. We'll build up. Don't you worry. If you're seeing that she's like exhausted, it's like you take a moment.
By the end of the warm-ups, like Kami's gonna like mostly watch you do like the actual exercises, like the squats, and Kami's gonna just do like slightly bend her knees, then go back up, and slightly bend her knees, then go back up squats. Or like push-ups, she's gonna like get on her knees and like just hold a plank position like there for. It's not gonna last. She's doing it with you. Technically, she's doing it with you. But
He appreciates
at
that.
the end of it, she is drenched in sweat, and definitely like in dire need of like some sit-down meditation time. And yeah, she'll go ahead and like do a morning ritual for everyone. It sounds a lot more out of breath and a little less like calm and soothing than her voice usually is. But it gets the job done. And instead of 9 temporary hit points, everybody gets 10 temporary hit points because of the level up.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
So
That is awesome.
that's where we're at.
So, as you see, nature is very, very beautiful and peaceful. Something like that.
It's the end of a long rest, but it doesn't look like it for half the team.
At what cost?
Yeah, exactly. But considering the time, I think this is actually probably a good place to take a break. So we'll have our little intermission break. And in the meantime, you guys might be able to figure out what your characters might want to say or do immediately afterwards. But other than that, we're going to head for our break, and we'll be back in a little bit of time. So thank you for being here, and we'll be back in a bit. thank you for being here with us. We are coming back after a long rest from this team, which was much deserved, and for some doesn't feel like a long rest because physical activity is not the thing they do. But with that, I'm going to leave it open to the team as you guys are kind of finishing your what would normally be morning routines, but just because of the time difference and when you guys chose to rest, the end of this long rest is coming at the very beginning of night. So at the beginning of this twilight, what would you guys like to do?
Zosha will finally look up from her little corner, looking through her book, and snap it shut and say, I don't see the point in sitting around and waiting. We should move in a direction somewhere, probably not where we came from.
I agree. I just don't know where to go.
Simon says there is running water where there wasn't, like a couple of hours ago.
Wow.
So that might be a good clue to something happening.
In which direction?
Simon? Simon will lead the way.
You watch the enormous snake head kind of turn in like a few different directions, but more or less in an eastern direction. It was also, now that you're kind of seeing him point it out, Zosha, you do recognize it as it was kind of the vague direction the goblin seemed to have been
That's
going.
what
in
I
at the
was
time.
gonna ask, yeah.
But
So then
you're able to-
Zosha will turn to everyone else that didn't get to hear the update. So you were all sleeping. I didn't want to bother you, but when I was watching, a goblin ran in that direction. From what I saw, it was only one. So, I mean, that something is that way. I think.
You said, was it running for its life, or was it jogging to keep up?
I would describe it as in a hurry, but not frantic.
Yeah, we should approach cautiously then. If they're there, especially if there's water there, they might be willing to kill for it.
Well, keep that in mind, I guess. But shall we?
Oh, that is something that I can do. And Kami is going to, as she gets on top of Simon, she's gonna cast Pass Without Trace.
All right.
In the vicinity.
Nice.
So as long as we're within, well, let me actually tap the spell so everybody can read.
Sounds good.
Oh gosh, come on, roll 20. Work for me, baby.
Let's go. There it is.
There we go.
It lasts an hour.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and we get better on stealth checks, as long as we are within 30 feet of me.
Correct. So, as a team, as you guys are traveling, I would love a stealth check from everybody. I am not going to roll for Chrysanthemum because if I roll terrible and it's not her fault, I feel bad. So, everybody else, if you don't mind rolling a stealth check as you guys.
You don't want a stealth check from me.
Oh shoot, that's the wrong. What the hell? That wasn't even near the thing. Other. Here we go.
Okay, I want to know why
10,
it is set
20.
to advantage.
I don't know. Is it your sheet? Hold on. I'll double check your sheet real quick.
But the first
Oh,
one was a 19, so...
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Anita! Oh my goodness!
Ah!
Good rolls, yo.
And
Still 20 though.
Yeah,
that's a 32?
exactly.
Because the pass that trace.
Oh, it's a
Somehow the
29.
goblin in heavy armor is killing it right now. But in general, this team really seems to
Let
slink
me
into
make a
position.
check. Let me make a check for
Simon.
the giant snake as well.
Yeah, I do need one for Simon as well. You guys are doing very, very well. That was whispered to me and is 8. So brings it up to.
But it's an 18.
Correct. Exactly. The lowest stealth roll here was the 8. I'm going to hold on. Let me just adjust your Simon so that when you post, it will be public for everybody.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So all of you are heading in the direction of the water, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Can I get a marching order from you guys? I'm going to put an arrow. The arrow is whoever is in front is at the arrow. You guys are heading in that direction. It's not necessarily the direction you're heading on the map, but just so I have a good idea of where you guys are situated.
Squishy wizard in the middle.
You can just like, yeah, that's probably good because then you can see. I'm not blocking you.
Right.
Yeah.
The giant snake slides into position.
Yeah, and actually, Simon is leading the way. Simon is the one that knows where we're
Direction.
headed. So
Yeah.
Like Simon is a big boy. Like he could be in the front and the back at the same time. Like his body is long enough to kind of like be next to everybody.
His body is the line. His body is the marching order.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So with that in mind,
It's just a snake.
yeah, it's just snake.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. That's just for my reference, so I know what's going on. So as you guys are
And like,
up,
if people want to ride on Simon, that is okay. Like, Kami is riding on Simon, like closest to the head. So if people are also hopping on, they can be in the marching order on Simon, or they can be walking beside Simon.
Simon's good to go. All right, awesome. But you guys are making your way into this forest a bit deeper and hearing the running water a little bit sharper as you continue on. Thankfully, Simon had a wonderful perception check and knows exactly where he's going. So anytime anyone seems to kind of be astray, you kind of might get like a little bit of scale brushing against your side as he tries to kind of veer you back onto course. But otherwise, it probably takes 10 or so minutes before each of you can hear it very clearly. So it wasn't terribly far away, but it also seems strange that you were in this area and you didn't hear the water before. Simon seemed confused at suddenly hearing it, and you guys getting closer to it seems like this is kind of a big body of water. Why didn't we hear it before? But you continue on, and with your wonderful stealth checks, you're blending in pretty well with this strangely silent forest. Most of you aren't making much noise, if any, although any kind of noise that is emitted seems to be kind of subdued by the aura that is coming out of Kami and keeping everybody else a little more quiet than usual, thankfully. But as you continue, Plek being the one who's sort of in the front, as well as the snake, Simon, would be the first to kind of recognize as this yellow grass is sort of coming to an end and a bit of a peak, you can see what seems to be a body of water rushing downriver, it seems. And there's plenty of trees between you and that at the moment, but you're catching what seems to be moving water. And it sounds as though some kind of movement is happening on the other side. It's a little hard to make out just because of the sound of the running water. But in this quiet forest, you can at least kind of make out some movement over there.
Is it like a river or like a rapids?
It seems to be
Okay.
a river, not quite rapids, not quite that violent of a stream, but it's pretty strong. I would say just from the sound of it, even if those of you who are not sort of used to being in a natural environment or even in a forest, it's enough to know that like it's a pretty strong current. It's not a brook or a pond. It seems pretty deep and it seems pretty strong, just from what you can hear at least.
Plek will try to just do a perception check over there, or if he could, just to see if he can identify what's happening on the other side.
Sure. I'll say the first two in the marching order are capable of doing that. So if Lanitana, if you would like to as well, you can give a perception check.
Sure.
Please do a perception check. My perception's terrible.
So are we right? Like, granted, there's marching order, but is the edge of the water like right there for us now?
No,
Or-
not quite. I apologize. I didn't explain that. It's probably another like 75 feet away from you. You're just kind of seeing where the tree line seems to end, and then so a little bit of water ahead of that.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Goodness. A -1 and a +8. We got the two best ones up here, guys. But Plek, it's a little hard to hear over all the noise that's happening. Thankfully, not your team, because you guys are stealthing very well with this Pass Without a Trace. But Lanitana, you do hear the sounds a little crisper, a little clearer this time, and you're able to kind of focus in on it. And it sounds as though something is being dragged. And with your keen eyes, who can see even very, very well in the dark, and it is dark, you're able to make out a relatively familiar figure seemingly dragging something behind. A rather large figure. And it doesn't seem to be coming towards the river. However, it seems to be kind of going parallel to it at the moment. But it's close to the tree line, and you imagine that if you're up against the banks, you'd probably be able to see it clear.
They'll stop for a second, and there appears to be something dragging another thing along the bank over it. They'll point in that direction. Can hear it, and we can see it.
Does it look familiar?
We see familiar. Yeah, DM. We see, is it the spider?
It seems more like another cultist of some kind. You're able to make out furs and leathers, but because it's still in the tree line, you're just kind of getting bits of that.
Yeah. Okay. They'll. Do you remember that body we ran across, the cultist?
Yes.
Hard to forget.
From what we can see, it looks like it may be one of them.
Are we on the hunt?
Yes.
At this moment, we don't think that they are pursuing us. I think we think they have found something else.
No, we're pursuing them.
I thought your god, deity friend. I don't know your relationship. I said to engage in them with them, kill them. Maybe Maybe that's just the goblin in me. I don't know.
They should not be here. So yes, we would like them to be gone. Get Malar's influence out.
Just kind of draws the spear out. Can do.
I would love to perhaps talk with them. Not to save them or anything. I think that it would be valuable to find information. So if we could keep them alive, I think I might be able to find something out from them.
Okay, non-lethal. Got it.
Information would be helpful to find the rest of them.
Well, if we get close enough, I can try and restrain them. But we gotta get closer.
Just be mindful there could be more of them around, just as we are doing what we're doing.
There's certainly more of them around, I would assume. How big is the gap?
It's pretty big. I will actually move you guys over to a new map in just a second.
Because I'm 4 feet tall, so I'm sure I'll just instantly drown trying to get across this.
Oh no!
And I'm in plate, so I'm not. This is
not great.
This is the wrong end of the Oregon Trail for me.
Real concerns. Honestly, real concerns.
Yeah, to say the least. Good gosh. Okay, so with that, as you guys kind of approach, you were not wrong when you saw sort of like a peak and then whatever body of water seems to be ahead of it. It's a little hard to make out, but you are still able to see that this is like a pretty thick, healthy looking river. And even so, there seems to be sort of small islands of stone that kind of jut up from the bottom of this river that for some reason you guys didn't hear anything of not too long ago. But as you're walking up, it is going to be on the map, but it's not. Sure.
Yeah, I guess I wanted to like check and see if it was a real river or maybe an illusion river or a magic river, but I don't think I could see that from far away. So I guess we do have to like closer. But I'll like communicate to the group, hey, maybe it's not a real river. Let's check it out. And also, if it is a real river that we could drown in, I have like a spell for that, maybe? Let's check it out before though.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to move you guys over to your new map. Give me 1 second. Here we go. All right. One more thing, pardon me. But this is more or less what you guys are starting to see. It is quite a distance. And on the opposite end, I would just say, because of Lanitana's incredible 27 perception, just kind of knowing what to focus on as you're getting closer, you kind of follow that bead of movement in the tree line. And it's not quite where you see it on the map. It's a little bit past that in the tree line. But on the exact opposite end, you're able to make out what seems to be a goblin body. And it seems to have been dismembered. It looks like it's missing from the elbow down on one arm. And one of its legs seems to be kind of severed about halfway down its other thigh. But as you're looking at the figure, it does seem to be some kind of humanoid dressed in mostly leathers and furs, just kind of holding the back of this goblin and dragging it through. It doesn't seem to be moving, but it does seem like the very skinny, emaciated goblins that you ran into another time.
Fascinating. So, how far away? Okay, my brain wheels are just churning.
Okay.
How far away would you say we are in distance?
It's probably a little bit further than what is on this map, so probably like 120-ish feet.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
I think Kami's gonna investigate the river.
Yes.
Just see what's going on. You're a weird river. What's happening?
Absolutely. You can give me nature or investigation. I will say if it's a nature check, the DC is lower.
Hey, I have proficiency in nature, so I love that.
So I was gonna have Zosha also go check out the river. Is that cool?
Absolutely. I would say you can help Kami and give her advantage, or you two can roll separate checks. And again, you can be investigation or nature. And if it's nature, the DC is a little bit lower.
We should roll separately because I'm bad at nature. So I'm just gonna do an investigation check.
All right, let's go. Oh. All right. Can we get Anita a hug? These rolls have not been great lately.
Oh, no.
I love you.
Oh, hold on. I took a long rest. That means I have luck.
Yeah.
Luck is back. Let's go.
Yes, luck is back, baby.
What?
Oh wow!
What?
Double digits.
Wow! It doesn't care. It just doesn't
What?
care.
Lonnie, can you do an exorcism on?
I'm strong, bad energy off. Roll.
Oh goodness. Okay. You're very relieved that your friend is beside you. at this moment. There's a lot that's really weird about this river. Not only the fact that you didn't hear it, suddenly it's here, but Zosha, the first thing you're starting to pick up on is that it looks like there's still grass under the river, especially kind of towards the banks. And also, as you're looking at the banks, it seems as though like the ground was sort of torn up. If you had to guess, it almost feels like this river was forcibly moved in this location, like someone redirected a different body of water and forced it to go in this direction, because this was not where a river was before, but it's here now.
Can I like do an Arcana check to see if I notice like any magical effects or implications?
Sure. Yeah, go right ahead.
Well, it's one of my best freaking stats.
It is rough for Team Wholesome right now.
So angry.
It's hard. Yeah. I think from a magic perspective, I think Zosha would just be kind of wrapped up in the wonder of someone redirected a full body of water in this direction. And like you're just kind of blown by that you can't quite catch any little details here.
But I'll share that information with everyone so they know that that's what my investigation yielded, especially Kami. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, you're muted, Kami.
Anita, you're muted.
And I was saying, and from my nature check, I'm pretty sure this is real water.
Yes. I would honestly say, like,
I'm
finding out if it's real water, you can do that. It does not seem to be an illusion. This does seem to be real water.
So I am going to turn to everybody and say, Simon is a very good swimmer. If we hop on Simon's back and he swims us through the water, we should be able to sneak up on the person on the other side. And Kami is going to cast water breathing on everybody. That's not water breathing. This is water breathing.
You get water breathing. You get water breathing.
Yeah, Zosha's already on Simon's back at this point. She's like, all right, giddy up. No,
doing it.
That is super useful.
Everybody has the ability to breathe underwater, so Simon can swim under the water and sneak up, and maybe we can do an ambush if we want.
I will say, because of the not the rapids, but like the force of the current, and Simon is a big snake, so it might be a little hard to kind of hold on. You're welcome to try and maybe fasten things onto him to make it possible. But for say Plek, an individual with shorter arms, he's going to be kind of holding onto a slick snake underwater with a very strong current hitting him.
I can make the jumps.
Or you can make the jumps.
Or we can tie a rope around each of us. So that no one gets swept away in the current. And Kami will take out rope from if people think that's a good idea.
I think your idea is great for you. Maybe I can be bait, and you guys can ambush him. I'm just worried I weigh like 40 pounds.
I didn't mean to press that.
That's okay. I was like, I guess Zosha just bamps out of there.
If that's something you want to do, we can take that course. But
it's up to you. I'll go with the team if need be. I'm a little nervous. That's all.
I don't. I mean, I trust your judgment of your own ability, and I really don't want to see you, swim away.
If you want to do that, we can have a ambush from below the river, or we can go higher as well. And Lightana will kind of like make a gesture, and they'll kind of like lift off the air a little bit, like just kind of hovering. The river shouldn't be a problem.
That's a nice trick. Also, I think I still have pass without a trace, so I might be able to sneak up on him, depending how you want to rule this.
I pass without a trace too. That's awesome.
Yeah. As long as you're within 30 feet of us while we swim under the water, like you get the.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But Kami is a little unsure about like leaving a part of the tribe alone while everybody else goes and does something else. But we'll trust your judgment if you really don't want to be under the water with everybody. But like we'll sort of like go up to you and say, you can trust me and Simon.
I absolutely do. My concern is if you tie me there, someone's going to have to cut me loose, which kind of slows you down.
Understood. Well, I trust you as well. I will try to have Simon swim close to the surface so you can be sneaky as you hop across.
Plek at this point is kind of sizing that guy up. He's like, I think I'll be all right. I think we can do this. See to the party. I think this will work.
Kami will take out her rope like for everybody else and like so nobody gets swept downriver. And gets everybody tied up and ties like one end to Simon.
Why don't you give me a survival check to see how well you secure you and your friends?
Oh, rolling an 820? Foos, why would you do this?
Oh no! Why? Puck's gonna be the only one on the other side. Like, where'd they all go?
The whole team just like downriver. Oh no! Oh my god.
Okay, we got survival.
Hey!
Hey, 20.
Very nice.
Yes!
Yay!
Yeah, you
Good
might
stuff.
be, frazzled in other ways, but the safety of your friends is number one in your head. So you are diligent and careful about this, and everyone, you feel pretty secure. It's 50 feet of rope, but she's making it work. So with that, you guys are essentially water breathing your way underwater, holding on to Simon and swimming your way across. I will say, because he is carrying a lot of weight, even though Simon is a big boy, I'll say that his movement is halved when he's underwater, just because he's carrying all of you along. So he's going to go a little bit slower than normal.
Only two.
It's fine. Only two?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you're right.
But
We're like,
plus
I think-
Chrysanthemum.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Chrysanthemum is coming over too, but so it's the 3, it's not 4. I had 4 in my mind, so that's actually good to know. Thank you very much. We'll say it's 75% rather than half, just because it's not. None of the plate wearers are on board, so it's not too bad. So we'll have you guys go down there.
Simon has a 30-foot swim speed, so,
yes. So
30 feet around.
I'm gonna say it's 20 feet instead. So you're still going pretty quick, but not as fast. Just also he has to be a little careful of you as you guys are getting closer to the water. You're seeing that there are rocks and such down here because this was a very forced body of water. So things that would otherwise be a little smoother, not quite the case here.
Rocks. No.
Relatively. But So you three are going to be doing that. Lanitana, how are you going to progress? I have a feeling I know, but I just want to confirm.
They're gonna fly 30 feet above where Simon is, so just kind of like stay above eye line, so like and just fly over. Yep.
But above. Okay. And Plek, you are going by way of rocks.
Yep, we're gonna Hulk style jump this. So I can jump equal to my strength score.
Yes.
Which, depending on what you want to, should get me there.
Yeah.
Depending on where you want to launch from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that for you, I'll just take athletics checks for each jump that you make. If it's not high enough, then I'll have you make an acrobatics to try not and roll off or, take a bad hit or anything like that. But you will keep going that way. The rest of the team, minus Lanitana, you will all be making strength checks at advantage because you're tied together. But this is just trying to see if you can hold on to Simon. You are tied together, so even if you fail, you'll just be kind of like flailing along like as everyone's getting pulled. So
are these saving throws that we're making, or just a straight check?
Just a strength check. If you have a proficiency in athletics, which I'm fairly certain you don't, but if you do, you can.
Oh no!
Oh, thank goodness, advantage.
Okay.
All right, good. So I'll need another one from Zosha. And then you have advantage.
Yep.
Oh,
13. Nice.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay. Very nice. Plek, I'm not going to ask you for another athletics check. I was going to have you go along, but I think you just find your rhythm, man. That first jump comes along and you're nailing it right now. So,
amazing.
As you guys are getting ready to be submerged, you see Plek kind of like judging it in the corner and then flies perfectly.
It looks really impressive. At least someone could see it.
Right, exactly. So I'm gonna kind of like move you guys. What way are you staying close to the rocks, or are you gonna kind of come down here and then go? As Simon is pulling you guys along, that is.
Staying close to the rocks so that Lanitana and Plek can both have
Sounds good. Okay. And thankfully, the two of you passed the first strength check that I'll need from you guys. So you're still attached, and it's the strangest feeling because not only are you underwater and breathing, you're also tied to a snake and kind of swimming, kind of holding on, and like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement. The other thing is the surface of the water didn't seem very different, but now that you're under it, it's very cloudy in here. Because the silt and the dirt hasn't had the chance to really like filter through yet. So it's tearing up the earth as it's going through. And it's a little hard to make out what's going on, but thankfully you guys are all tied together and you have a very large green snake to like be your guide as you are down there. But you guys are making it through. So Plek, I would say you made your first jump. Like I said, I think you nailed that one so well that I'm not gonna have you roll for another one because you got it. You got it good. And for the other team, I'll have you do another athletics check. We're just doing two, one for the first half, one for the second half, or strength check, excuse me. And Lanitana, you're just floating your way over there.
Yep.
No problem.
Well,
is that yours?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. So, what order were you guys in? As I'm seeing, so Zosha in front, and then
Zosha's like in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. So I think, Kami, are you towards the front or would you be behind Zosha?
I feel like I would be. I feel like I would be at like the head of Simon. Okay. I feel like I would be at Simon.
Gotcha. As you're holding on to Simon, and you're managing to keep a good grip, so you're not kind of flailing around in the current. But you do feel kind of around where your belt was tied to you and extended to the next person, which was Zosha. You are feeling it's a little more of a tug than just the current. And as you go to look back, you see Zosha just kind of like reaching with one hand and has fully detached from Simon, but is still tied to you two. So between Chrysanthemum behind her and you in front, she's still attached to the group, but is kind of, I don't know if you'd want to say she's flailing at the moment, but she's kind of lost in the current.
She's not quite flailing, but she's not chill. So it's this middle ground of panic on her face, but not thrashing.
Right. Exactly. I feel like she'd be trying to hold it together, but also like, oh, what the hell's going on? But I imagine actually Plek might make it there first, unless you're timing yourself to make sure that you stick with everybody else. And Lanitana, obviously, you can kind of judge how fast you want to go. So.
Plek wanted to be bait, so as soon as he hit that rock, he was just hauling.
Yeah. All right, go for it. So I'm gonna have you move ahead on the map so we know where you're going. For Plek, that is.
I think I could do this in 2 jumps because it would be this one and then that one. So he would just, so he would land here.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he lands, just sort of like slide up and take his spear and basically point at the servant of Valar. I challenge you. And then he like pulls out his creates like a semicircle with a spear in the ground and just kind of presents himself.
Very nice. Roll me. Intimidation or persuasion. If you use intimidation, I'll say you can use your strength rather than your charisma.
Oh, that's my. Oh boy.
Probably just a strength check, right?
Yep, we'll do that. Cause
oh yeah, your charisma's booty, isn't it?
My charisma is hilarious.
It's real bad. It's real bad.
Oh. Oh no. Well, that's better than the 1 it would have been with my charisma, so I'll take a 9.
We're still positive. It's almost double digits. But as you jump over to the other side, the figure that was dragging the body does kind of like stop for a second and look in your direction. And you're able to see that he also seems to have sort of a deer-like mask, a skull mask over his head. However, these horns kind of curl back like ram horns, and this figure does seem to be sort of masculine in its stature. Another humanoid of some kind, but just from the distance, you're not quite able to catch super perfect details to find out maybe what race or anything like that. But as you catch its attention or his attention, he turns to you. Another goblin? I just killed one of you. And he kind of holds it up, and you can see the deceased goblin just kind of ragdolled in his hands. Do you want to be the second?
You're willing to try.
He kind of seems to be like dismissing you as he's saying it, like he's just saying it and kind of walking off. But while you're there, since you're the first, Lanitana is pretty close, so I'll say that you can as well. But both of you can give me a perception check.
A deception check?
Perception.
Oh no!
I know. I'm sorry.
One day I'll make a character with halfway decent perception, but today's not that day.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That was really good, yo. Okay. It's at this point that Lanitana catches it first, but Plek, you catch it probably like seconds afterwards. But this Malar cultist seems to be kind of walking upstream, essentially. But a little bit further downstream, still across the way, but off in another direction. You pretty sure you're starting to pick up combat. And in the middle of it, you hear what seems to be sort of a raspy voice. And you can't make out words at this moment. But it sounds like help, pleas for help, or at least an attempt to save oneself. It's a little hard to make out just because of the rushing water behind you. But it's not in the direction this guy's walking.
With that, Plek will look over to Lonnie for kind of guidance. How do you want to proceed?
You hear the fighting, right?
Yeah, I heard it too. That's what he's like trying to clarify.
Yep. In that case, this one's already done. More can be done where that sound came from.
Understood.
But if you want to stop him, we can check and see what that noise came from.
Well, if it's asking for help, you're either legitimately helping somebody or walking into a trap. Either way, it should be fun.
As this is happening, I'll say that Team Simon is pretty much at the banks. And Zosha, I'll go ahead and ask you for one more strength check just to see.
Come on, Zosha, let's go!
Reattach yourself.
Is this gonna be with advantage still, or it's just gonna?
Just because you have nothing to hold on to.
Yeah.
You use the rope to get on.
Yeah, I figured. Yep.
This is more or less seeing if. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Can Plex see Zosha? I always destroy your name. I'm so sorry. Zosha,
Okay.
In the water.
I think if you turned and focused on it, yeah, but I just made you do that perception check, so I think your attention at the moment is forward.
God damn it.
The water's blocking us. No.
Right, exactly. You haven't detached. You're just fully not in control.
We're assuming everything's going great. We haven't seen them like float to the top and like kind of like flail yet. So.
If they float to the top, that's
not good.
That's usually a bad sign.
This check was to see whether, when they kind of came up, whether Zosha would be like, "Ah, that was nice," or if she would just get dragged up on shore.
Ah, okay.
So she's okay, but the dismount is not going to be great.
Great.
For the last half, when Simon's coming up on the bank, you're basically just riding that whole, like, just getting dragged along on the way up. But you guys are, like, Simon's head is probably poking up right about after Plek and Lanitana had that, like, what are we doing? And then Simon's head kind of starts coming up from the water.
Cool.
In which case, Kami, you didn't seem to have too much trouble. It was a little hard to hold on, but thankfully you weren't too sore from the morning workout to not hold on the whole way. But you're able to dismount just fine, and you look back to see your friend just kind of like on her side being dragged.
Yeah, am I like on the sand yet or anything?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
You're very close to like being all the way out. You probably have another like 2 feet of water before you're like out of the water, but you're just being dragged up, essentially.
Love that for me.
Plek will hop off and try to like help her if he sees her being just like dragged in sand. That
Literally
sounds awful.
just.
Yeah.
It's actually the unfortunate thing is it's a lot of mud because this was just regular grasslands before, and now it's just river water, so it is not a clean, good time.
Great.
I think that Kami is not even thinking about like what's behind her. Like, I don't think Kami has like noticed that like how like Zosha has like gotten up off of the land yet. I think that like Kami really beefed last combat and is very focused on like making this ambush work. And we said it was an ambush like on that side of the thing, so Kami is thinking, go out and we attack. So as soon as Kami like gets out of the water, Kami's gonna want to try to cast a spell on this creature.
If you would let me, Plek would stop you. You'd be like, hey, no. People need help over there. Listen, you can hear the cries.
We don't want to.
We'll get him later. Well, we might even be fighting his friends over there.
He doesn't matter at this moment.
Also, Zosha is a little muddy right now. She probably needs some help.
Oh, and we'll turn and
Zosha's literally like laying, just like a few tears going down her face. Like,
this wasn't fun. This wasn't fun.
this was horrible.
Oh, Plek will cut her free with his spear if he can, and try to like help her out.
Undo ties everybody from the rope.
Zosha will like crawl and try to slowly get to her feet.
You are super camouflaged though now.
I know you are very hard to spot at a distance.
Thanks. I don't know that I'm happy about it.
Oh no. But on the other side, after a little bit of tending to poor Zosha as she's cut free and pulled up and muddied, unfortunately, the rest of you are starting to catch the voice that both Lanitana and Plek were able to hear. And it does sound sort of like a raspy, if you had to guess, masculine voice of some kind, but combat as well. You're hearing metal against metal, possibly armor as well. But the calls are still going, unfortunately. The fight still seems to be going. And it's probably within 200 feet or so of you. But through the mass of trees ahead of you, it's hard to make out anything.
Do we
There we go.
Yep, Lighthouse is gonna keep flying.
Lighthouse gone.
This is going. All right. So with that, I'm gonna move him off over here. So Lanitana is going first. Just another marching order, if you don't mind. If Lanitana, swish. I love that sound. That's awesome. You can go ahead and let me know what Lanitana's up in front. Are the rest of you kind of in this way? I imagine Zosha still wants to stay towards the center.
Yeah, Plek will take he would be in front, but he's trying to catch up at the moment. But he'll take one last look at Zosha just to make sure she's good and didn't like inhale a bunch of mud or something.
Should be fine.
A bunch of mud just flies off your hand.
Onto your
Got it.
face,
Awesome.
just
Like that, nice.
That's awesome. All
Sarah.
right.
Yeah,
I will-
Kami is going to go up to
Not.
go up to Simon and say, "It sounds like combat, but we'll go up to the side of his head and be safe at the staff." And you sort of hear some like snaky protests. Like if you can the snake can protest, but will revert into a staff where he is safe.
A protesting hiss.
And I think Kami will take up the rear as she sort of hobbles along, trying to catch up.
Sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of scoot you guys a little bit. There we go. All right. So Lanitana, are you attempting to be stealthy at all with this? I know you're flying technically.
Yes,
but,
trying.
is there
Yeah.
an attempt?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
If you're still within 30 feet
Mhm.
of Kami, you still get the pass without a trace. And if everyone else is trying to stealth, you guys can all give me a stealth check. This is kind of towards the end of the pass without a trace, but I think you would just
She's
get
gonna
it.
get past. We can get past that guy.
But you guys are welcome to roll another time for your stealth as you are approaching
okay.
these guys. If you want to stealth, if you don't want to,
I don't. Yeah, Plek's not gonna want to because that's half move. Oh my
13,
god.
13. It's 13 though.
it's a natural one though.
Yeah. Plek is just gonna be hauling into it just
Okay.
to see.
Okay, so you're-
Zosha's too dejected to even think about trying to be good at anything right now. So she's just walking, just following Plek, I don't know.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah. Kami rolled a 3, -3 for a 0,
A
plus
0.
10.
Yep.
And
So Kami's squelching. Kami's hobbling along with the stick. Gets her footsteps to mud.
I love
It's
squelching. I think that's exactly what it is right now. It's just you guys are waterlogged. Sosha's not even trying. And even though Lanitana is flying, it doesn't necessarily have to even worry about trees or anything like that, or grass. But some of the branches or foliage kind of catches in your armor, and you wind up pulling yourself free a little bit and getting little rustles here and there. But Plek was charging ahead. So with that, Plek would be the first to kind of start noticing. The first thing you actually catch on your way over is there does seem to be a larger spider web that's sort of spread out on the ground, but it does seem to be kind of trudged through. It looks like that was perhaps a very recent attack, or perhaps something happened where web was released here and someone walked through it, but it is destroyed. And looking up ahead, you can see what seems to be 3 or 4 goblins, those same ones that you saw before, all pointing in one direction. And as your eyes catch exactly who is there, you see what you seem to make out is just a human male with a mace in one hand and what looks to be a broken shield in the other. Looks a little battered at the moment, but is kind of more in defense than offense. The shield is up and you can hear him just, get away! I don't have anything! Just kind of pleading, but his voice is raspy and almost breathless at times. And you can't tell if it's just because he's been fighting for so long that he's exhausted, or that's just how he sounds. The unfortunate thing that you make out as well is the ogre that you recognize, or the team recognized before, is seemingly menacingly closing in on him. And the man with the mace and the shield seems to also kind of be in what looks like white and black robes of some kind. At a glance, looks like a cleric of some kind if you had to put that a name to or a class to this character. But that's what you're seeing as you're running up.
Okay.
And the
I
rest
mean,
of
he's
you-
already sprinting in plate, so I'm sure they know he's there.
Yes, okay, yeah. If you're running,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. Absolutely.
But he'll call them opportunistic cowards in Goblin as he's coming up from behind. If he can angle towards the ogre, he'll try. Otherwise, if the goblins are closer, he might just... depending on like how
it works out. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
There is a goblin that is closer to you. There's a goblin that's sort of like up on a little bit of a ridge right beside you. The ogre is another probably like 70 feet from you, like running in. But you have a shot on one goblin that's relatively close, and further down is the man. I will move you guys over to, once again, a new map. So give me a second. Rest of the team is behind you making a ton of noise, unfortunately. So you know where they are, but they're coming up a little bit behind you. Here you go. You guys have to scroll all the way off to the left side. Actually, I can just move you. Hold on.
There we go.
My cat is active right now. But yes, you guys are kind of coming in at the moment. And I put little circles behind the other guys, so hopefully they're a little clearer to you. But this is more or less the scene that you're running in on. And the cleric-ish character is this man right here. Who, as you kind of come up and say that, the first goblin that is on that ridge right above you looks down at you and tilts his head again. You again? Get out of here! And then as that's happening, the man makes full eye contact with you, and his skin seems kind of dirty and unwashed. His hair is sort of long and brown, but it also looks very, very disheveled. And he's concerned at the moment, but he almost looks more annoyed than concerned. But he does look like he's also taken a few hits. He looks pretty battered, but he makes direct eye contact with you. And at first you see him raise his shield again as he recognizes yet another goblin coming at him. But
no!
You're presenting differently, at least. You called them cowards and you're wearing armor. So he sort of like raises the shield and looks between all of them and, help, please?
Same side.
All right, and with that, we're actually starting a combat here. We're kind of towards the end of our time. So I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to run through like a round and then pick up next time, or if you guys just want to start the combat fresh next round. So
No, let's get started.
We can do some damage on here.
All right, sounds good. So with that, go ahead and start rolling for your initiative.
Do
please.
I still have advantage on
You
my
sure
initiative
do.
roll?
Yes,
okay,
you do.
wait, thank goodness.
Absolutely. All
Okay.
Let me roll some initiative for everybody who's here. Oh,
Oh
Wait!
Oh, I am
natural
sorry.
ones tonight.
Oh my goodness.
God. What is happening?
Well,
don't forget to select your token when you
no.
roll.
Wait, I have another one. Let's see.
oh, selecting a token.
15.
Yeah, that
Yes.
would have.
Did you have advantage on yours as well?
I have advantage.
Okay, great. Great.
I have it all the time.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
I
Initiative
apologize.
checks, yeah.
Well, I didn't select my token, so it didn't show up on the thing.
That's all right. Nunners, you got yours. I don't.
Looks like Tommy got a 0.
You did?
my
Wow,
God.
I didn't
That
see
is
the
your
roll.
second 0 of the night. How is that possible?
You have a neg- I mean,
Anita, I didn't give you if you're at a table.
Oh
This
my
is awful.
God.
It is.
We need hugs. At this
Watch.
point.
Just don't get hit by anything, because I'm pretty sure by that point, roll 20 is just gonna be like, oh, if you're getting hit, nat 20. It's like, roll 20. No. No.
What is happening? Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3. Anita, I need to put you on there. Did you roll in game? I didn't see it. Or was it a die roll?
Oh, I thought
Because
I
I see
did.
that because the dexterity. check was
Let me
something else.
just. Oh, the dexterity check was something else. Okay, that I haven't rolled.
Okay, you got a 6. That
Let
works.
me- Oh.
All right.
A
So it's not a 0.
period.
There's that. All right. So he.
I'm
rolled
not
his-
last!
Yay!
If I didn't have advantage, I would have
Whoa.
been.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah. The ogre, however, did
You'll
roll
never
a
be
0.
last as long as
Ogre's like, I will go.
Ogre is a straight 0. Let me roll this guy's initiative. Ooh, he rolled very well.
Look at all these single digits.
God.
It's not great. And then I have one more. I'm going to be kind of rolling in chunks for the goblins, so they're not going to go all individually because that I feel can be a mess. And the last one, wow, they rolled really well. Let's get rid of these decimal points, shall we? Okay. I think. All right. Does that look accurate? Is everybody on here? Do your numbers look good?
Except for Chrysanthemum.
Correct. Who's not here?
I know.
I don't know whether I'm gonna.
That's fair.
I imagine
I just wanted to say it just in case.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I will have her roll, but since we're going to continue this combat, I probably won't be doing much with her, if not just like cantrips or something.
Mhm.
So I don't want to burn her shit when she's not here. Oh, well, shoot, I rolled really well for her, so she got a 19. She's first again.
That's so
Nice.
funny.
First last time too. All right, so considering she's first and all this stuff that's going on, like I said, I'm gonna cantrip her way to glory because I don't want to ruin or take her spells. So with that, let me see what she has. Okay, just making sure. She's 2 creatures. Okay, she's gonna scooch up a little bit, extend her hands, and Fleck, as you kind of clock the goblin that was up above you, you actually watch as a spray of green acid comes out from her hands as she acid splashes this goblin right here. So she's going to, let me click that. All right, 9 damage, and I have to roll his dexterity saving throw. Pardon me. Now he's gonna roll 2, but we're just gonna take the first one because it's just faster for me to do it this way. I whispered it to myself, but he failed. So as she comes and runs up, you see him just get doused in acid and just kind of hissing and snarling as he starts burning alive because of this acid. But he takes.
Santhem's always on the ball.
He is, man. Like her and Boingo were always doing like good damage. So they take that. Okay, so she's at 9 points. All right. So I'm gonna say that's the end of her turn. The goblins are going first because they rolled really well. All right. So the first one, pardon me. Go to the next one. There we go. All right. So this one, actually, the one that's closest to him, he has a spear out, And now that you're kind of looking at the cleric, you can see that there does seem to be some torn parts of his robe where that look like they probably belong to the spear. And the goblin lunges in with his spear one more time, or at this moment, one more time, to try and attack him. Let me stop whispering myself. That would be good. Nope. Goes to try and jab him. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. My cat is right next to me, and I almost fucking punched him. But reaches out with his javelin and thankfully misses. And you can see him kind of bat it away with his mace. I told you I have nothing. But after that guy, the other one on top of the hill is going to take out his short bow and aim for the same cleric guy. So he's going to try and hit him with his short bow. That I'm pretty sure that hit that. Yeah, that definitely hits. So as he's kind of deflecting that particular javelin, you hear the arrow sink into his backside, and he kind of winces. God damn it! He is again still more annoyed than in pain at the moment, but he takes 7 points of piercing damage as he gets shot in the back. And at this point, you guys can kind of make out the other three that are coming from the opposite side around this area. I rolled them into the initiative, but this turn is kind of them moving into the positions that you see them on the map right now. So they weren't engaging initially, but they seem to be at the moment. So that's the end of the skirmisher turns, which brings us to these guys. So the one that got acid splashed is very annoyed, but he is going to try and shoot Chrysanthemum because she hit him, and I feel bad because she's not here, and I'm going to make her take damage, but I hope not. We'll see. It's going to shoot with a short bow.
Come back.
I'm fine. Everything's good. Don't worry.
Just come back. It's like, what? Why is Chrysanthemum down? Why is Chrysanthemum
hit points? What's going on? And the other two are coming in from the other side. Those two already went. So that's the end of the goblin turns because the other ones are kind of moving in. Actually, this guy, he's going to try and move, though, because he doesn't want to be that close to you. So he's going to scooch and try and, nestle in down there. So Chrysanthemum, this is kind of a bit of a sloping hill. It's kind of lower by Chrysanthemum, and it kind of peaks up towards this particular goblin. So you see him kind of, butt slide his way down this side of the hill, and you guys lose your line of sight on him, but he's going to kind of tuck himself right into that corner instead. So that's the end of his turn, which brings us to Lanitana.
All right, Lanitana's gonna float over here. There's sheep of the air, and gesture at the goblins and say, "You will leave that man alone, or you will face the power of divine wrath. This is our only warning. Leave."
The one that's
I wasn't going to warn them.
The one that's closest to him seems to kind of turn and look over his shoulder. And despite the very clear words you said, you see him look over his shoulder. They'll just give us some more berries or whatever. It's fine. Kind of goes back to reach and lunge at him.
We see all of you. And Lanitana's going to cast Moonbeam at this one right here. So both these.
Got it.
What do they make?
I got to put the aura back on.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So go ahead and roll that out for me if you don't mind.
All right. Wait. Okay, let me get rid. I wanted my character sheet out.
Constitution saving throws? I don't remember.
Is it con? Let me just double check. I have
no idea.
It is make a con save, yeah.
Okay, great. I was like, it's been a while since
it's been a little while since I had Moonbeam
pretty
happen.
Sure. Yeah. But you should be able to roll out
16.
The damage.
Yeah, it's a 16 and Moonbeam is there it is.
Yeah. If you click the spell, not the
10 radiant damage. Yeah, there we go.
All right, so I'll have them both roll. Again, they're going to look like they're rolling at advantage, but they're not. It's just faster for me this way.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Unless I misclick entirely, and then it doesn't roll at all. So, save, Constitution, go. I don't know why I rolled 3 times, but we'll take the 16, the 5, ignore the natural 20. So the first one passes and takes 5 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
The other takes the full 10.
Yep.
So as your moonbeam goes off, the goblins in the corner just both kind of turn it at the same time, like, just kind of start like
Boom!
burning alive. There's a half second where they're like, "What's that?" And then you just hear screams from these skinny goblins in the corner. Okay, so that was your movement and your action.
I think that's it.
Okay, gotcha. Which brings us to the cleric fellow. He's gonna kind of look around everyone and just be, oh, I appreciate it. We'll talk later. And you see him kind of sizing up the ogre who's kind of coming towards him, and he extends one hand and he watches sort of a bit of yellow starts to spiral in the center of his palm before it shoots out. And he's just like, please don't hit me. As he casts Ray of Sickness on this guy, which does hit. Double checking it does hit, right? Yes, I don't think an ogre has yet. Okay. There's no way that thing hits. Oh, wait, yeah, Ray of Sickness should be. Why is it doing that? Oh, no, because they have to hit. Then they have to. Yes, correct. I remember. It's been a while. Okay, so he has to roll a con save. I whispered it to myself, but he passed, unfortunately. So, as the yellow beam kind of hits him, you see him take some of the damage, but it doesn't seem to be as much as he was hoping for. And the cleric kind of grimaces. You're gonna save me. And he kind of looks like he wants to backpedal, but doesn't want to get stabbed again by a javelin. So he kind of stays where he is, but raises his shield a little bit higher. That's the end of his turn, which brings us to Zosha.
Yes, so Zosha will move about to stand right by Plek. And then she is going to just do a cute little fireball.
Shit.
Over at this one right here.
Oh, that one's just in a world of pain.
So all of them within a 20-foot radius, which thankfully, yeah. Have to do the
dexterity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a bad 5 seconds for them.
Keeps rolling one extra. Oh god, look at those amazing rolls. I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
It's okay. Wow. They still take half as much.
Half. Yep.
It's not letting me. Why isn't it letting me?
I'm rolling for the moonbeam. That's why there's one extra every time, because I'm selecting the moonbeam.
Oh god, they're rolling Moonbeam is not good at saves, apparently.
That's
so,
huge damage.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Holy.
So yeah, Zosha will fling out her hand and this spark of fire will go all the way across and then explode in a combustion in a 20-foot radius. And she will just say, "Gone with all parasites."
You have killed 2 of them. Would you like to describe their fiery deaths in detail?
They essentially melt into puddles of goo.
Bad.
They just from it, like, and the fire like looks like it's coming through their skin, like as they melt and just fall apart.
That is awesome. But as they're just melting, you're hearing goblinoid screams of just horror in the background, and it's enough to actually have the ogre kind of turn and look back at you. Like kind of putting 2 and 2 together that you just melted 2 of his friends. Awesome. And the other one is fucked up. He's bleeding, but he does not look good. But that was your action, a little bit of movement. Are you going to move anymore, or is that the end of your turn?
That's it.
That's it. All right, that brings us to Kami.
Oh no. Yeah. Like, has Kami ever seen Zosha kill before?
No, absolutely not. Probably not. No.
Right, okay. Kami is like in the back right now and just looking at her friend with like a great deal of sadness as she melts to people. Um, but we have to get our heads in the game. Um, and gosh, there's a lot happening right now. Those two are melted. We're gonna do 5, 10, 15, 20, 20 feet forward. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right, gonna like push past a little bit. If I can get through your space, 25 to 30.
Absolutely.
So I can be within 30 feet of the ogre guy, and I'm gonna hit him with a produce flame spell.
All right.
It's a cantrip. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I do. This is a lot, and I want my faculties beside me. So, produce flame will do 2d8 points of damage if I can hit.
Correct.
So let me press it.
Who are you going for again?
The ogre.
The ogre.
Yeah, easy. No problem.
All right. It's gonna do 2d8. I don't know how to roll damage for that. So I'm gonna just take out
flame, like right under where it says 15. Okay, you can do that too.
Oh shit! No, okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Nice. For future reference, right under where it says like 15 self, if you mouse over produce flame, you should be able to click that, and then it'll auto roll the damage for you. Keyword should.
Nice.
It might do some goofy shit, but
I'll keep that damage, but I'll attempt here. Awesome. Yeah.
There you go.
I like the 2d8s better.
Yeah, we're going to take the 10 points of damage rather than the 5, so don't worry about that. But yeah, you come up, and as the ogre is turning around to look at your friend, because he's kind of realizing that she just melted his friends, you come over and just sort of like burn the center of his chest.
I like hobble over with my staff, and I say, "Excuse me, Black." Like summon a tiny like ball of fire in my hand, and I like mimic Zosha's like fireball, and instead of like a big explosion, it just like hits him in the stomach, and like has a little bit of a burn mark there.
That's amazing, Kami.
And I'll just like look forward and brandish my staff and my shield.
All right. I like it. Very cool. All right. Well, it's the end of your turn. That brings us to Plek.
Okay. Let's see. Am I in? Yeah, I am in range, right? Yeah. Actually, it gives me cover from. Okay. Plek is going to kind of like slide between his two teammates, which shouldn't be too hard because he's mad short. But he's gonna slide under your elbows pretty much, and then just like start taking off towards this ogre, and come up kind of on his side, and just kind of going for calves and shins. Is gonna just start like poking and slashing at him.
Go for it. Let's go.
It's like the correct spear, fool. It's a terrible roll.
I didn't mean to press that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Do not worry.
Okay, 15 hits. All right, so with that, he's going to do a couple of things. One, he's going to burn a Fury of the Small. So he takes, let me just link that there, because this guy's way bigger than me.
Okay.
So take that! right in the not so great part. I will roll this damage. Oh, nice.
Oh wait, no, it's still rolling the 2 for some reason. But the
is
10,
it? God.
Yeah, I don't know why. We'll take the 10. We'll figure out the other one later.
Okay, so 10 and then plus 3, and he is going to use his bonus action because I have one now. He's going to use telekinetic, forcing him to make a Saving throw, so it's 8 plus prof. That's what, 11 plus 4. So it's a 15, DC 15
Strength saving.
strength save. And I'm going to try to move him essentially back 5 feet.
Somehow, this guy does not have proficiency in strength saving throws. Don't know why. Here we go. Nope.
Oh.
All right. So,
Awesome.
Where are you pushing him exactly?
I'm shoving him just 5 feet this way. Well, I don't know where his center is, but yeah,
Right.
5
Okay,
feet
so
back. So he's like further away from Jata and more lined up with me.
Gotcha.
And then, should I burn action surge? No, I'll keep it for now. Okay, that's it's action, bonus action, movement. I'm done. Thank you.
Very nice. And as you kind of push him away, he's just sort of.
Do you get 2 attacks during your turn at this
I
level?
did. I missed because I suck. Yeah, I rolled.
Not with the team tonight.
It's okay. Yeah.
But as you're pushing him back, you're watching as like just the weight of his feet as he's like stumbling backwards. It's kind of like shaking you a little bit, but you're dexterous enough to stay on your feet. But he looks confused down at you and like, why it's stronger than you? Like looks at one of his other goblin friends. Seems very perplexed that you're a far more capable fighter than his little goblin friends. But while you're there, he is. I'm gonna say he's gonna make a quick wisdom check to see whether he's gonna hit you or go after his target. And let me tell you, wisdom is not his strong suit.
Oh no, it isn't.
Yeah,
No.
he's gonna go. He's gonna walk out of your range because he's a dummy and try and hit the cleric. So you can go ahead and roll an attack of opportunity, but he is
Okay.
going the other way. Oh my god!
That's much better.
Yeah, that is.
I will throw in a psionic strike on top of that. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna hit. Can I see him? He is in range. I'm gonna hit the little goblin with it. Yeah. So I'm gonna stab him as he goes, and like as he's like turning around, sees the goblin, and then kind of does like a psionic like force blast with his spear from there, which is just psionic die plus what is it? Sorry, I always screw this up. Rolling it plus intelligence modifier. Okay, cool.
And then don't forget to roll your damage on your attack of opportunity.
Let me do that right now. So if I get this.
7. That's an extra 1. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh
All
god.
right,
And D plus 4. Okay, and then 9 damage to the green goblin. That sounds terrible. You know what I mean? The green circle goblin. Eat that, Norman Osborn. All right, that's it. My reaction turn.
To the number on this little guy, do you want to describe how you kill him with your psionic strike?
Oh my.
Yeah, just turns around, launches it, hits him in his head, and you just watch like blood start coming out of his nose and like his eyes, as I imagine it hits his mind more than his body, and just kind of like stiffens up and falls down like a log dead.
Very nice, very nice. These are emaciated gobos. They're not very constitution heavy.
That's a mighty fucking trick of yours.
Your mind is your greatest weapon.
And as you guys are talking about this, you guys hear like the kind of jingle jangle of what seems to be a morning star at the end of a flail as he swings downward on the cleric. He does make 2 attacks. 1. Ooh, thank goodness. And that one definitely hits. All right. So the first one, the shield comes up and kind of barely manages to kind of redirect it, but you can see just the weight of it kind of throws him back a little bit. Really good roll on that one. And while before he seemed more annoyed than anything, this one seems to kind of rattle him a little bit as he kind of staggers backwards. Done a lot of damage to his armor, his robes really, but like they've kind of torn away a little bit. And you're just seeing he looks real slim. Like this cleric does not seem very healthy. He's not quite emaciated as the goblins are, but he doesn't look wildly healthy either. But with that, you see him like, like looking up, like, it's a big guy. This is not a good position to be in. And I believe that's the end of his turn. That's all he can do is 2 attacks. So with the end of that, because we're back up to the top of the round, we're gonna pick up at the start of combat, or not start of combat, but second round of combat when we come back. Which, as a reminder, is not going to be next week, unfortunately, but will be the 15th. We'll be back. So with that, I don't know if we confirmed if we're rating. I unfortunately have no control over that. So if we are rating, I'm not sure who we're going to, but I'm sure they're wonderful and that we should support them. But again, tomorrow is the Kids with Bikes at 7 p.m. EST. I got to correct this time. Again, my name is Fuzka, or Fuz. I am the very lucky to have these players DM. You can find me on Twitter on Fuzka_D&D and here on Twitch at Fuzka. But I'm going to pass it off to my wonderful players so they could say goodbye as well. So this time I will start with Nenners.
I'm Nenners. I play Plek. I can be found at the Fuzka Twitter, or Twitch, not Twitter. Twitch, and just doing D&D things. I will pass it off to Anita. You're muted still.
You're muted.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, it's been a day. Anita, it's me. Anita the lesbian at TikTok and at Twitter. On TikTok, I do funny memes. On Twitter, I tell people what I'm doing. Follow me if you'd like. I'll also be at the Chaotic Wonderful Twitch stream, twitch.tv/chaoticwonderful, doing a Slayers actual play. If you want to see me rolling more dice and rolling badly on more dice, like I have really bad luck in that stream too. But we're making a brand and we're loving it. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna pass it to the lovely and talented. I was about to say Zosha. Kristen, please. Take the mic.
Okay, thanks. Hi, I'm Kristen. You can find me here on Twitch at Kristen House or Twitter Kristen_House, or every Friday at 5 p.m. EST at twitch.tv/Dauntless, where I'm playing our weekly pirate homebrew D&D campaign that's super great. And yeah, that's everything, I think. Wow, my brain, you know, when people's little heart rate monitors go dee, well, like that's what my brain just did. So I'm gonna pass it off to Lynn.
Hey everybody, I'm Lynn, Gremlin Art. Pretty much everywhere on the socials, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, those sort of things. And you can find my art there and what I'm doing as far as playing games throughout the week. It's a lot of fun.
It is awesome, and these guys are awesome. But we'll be back not next week, the week after that. But thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful night. And come stop by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bye.